I'm so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this year. There's been so much hype.
We should have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Corum.
Maryland's gone. Talia Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard football.
Is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, happy Saturday to you. It's college football time, and it's bowl season, baby. It's bowl season, but I'm not by myself.
Yeah.
I never am. I got my guys with me. You see this guy over here, all the way from up north in Canada, my guy, Mr. Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
Not too much, man. I love bowl season. Just all these wacky matchups you get in these crazy bowls. I mean, we talked last week about the Mania Bowl and all those. So I love this time of year. And we're starting it off with some very good football games.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And speaking of bowls, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, I'm wearing the blue. And I got a special guest on here today. My guy from down in the 757, Mr. Alex Schomburg. What up, Alex?
What up, Sean? How's it going?
Oh, it's always good, my friend. It's always good. We can see, I like how we can be cordial now. But come the 28th, 8 p.m., baby. Me and you.
Wait a second. I'm doing this today.
Oh, wait.
Come on now. Let's go.
Wow. Wait,
Since we're doing this today.
Hey, come on. Come, guns are blazing. Let's get it. Just nothing lime green. That's all I'm asking. All right. Oh, there it is. There it is.
So we're doing this today.
I love it.
Today.
Yes, the bowl season is here, ladies and gentlemen. Bowl Mania is upon us. Like Alex alluded to, there are games that have already started. Games started yesterday. Games are going on as we speak, and there's a lot of stuff out there. But real quick, I wanna bring this up real quick because one of the things that we've noticed is there's so much turnover in college football right now. You really don't know who you're gonna see playing these games. I mean, what do you guys think? Because I mean, I could look at that Florida game going on right now, and they're getting beat 30-0. But between transfer players and guys opting out, I mean, they can't even really field the team. Richardson's he's going for the draft, so they got some guy that's making his first start today. Alex, what do you think about that?
So, in terms of the bowl game itself, I think it kind of hinders it a little bit because you don't have a lot of these big name guys that you watched all season.
Right.
But where I think this really benefits the team is you start to get a look at these guys for next year.
Yeah.
You start to see them in game action and see what they do when the lights are bright.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And look, and that's why we love it. That's why because we get to see a lot of these guys. You look at, we're going to talk about UAB and the leading rusher who set out and is going towards the draft. I mentioned Richardson. Alec, I like that, but also you got coaches. If you look at the UAB game we're going to talk about, they got Trent Dilfer about to come in as coach. All the players were rooting for the interim guy to get the job. And now it's like, okay, well, the AD went another direction, but it's kind of like, they're playing for him. Should we expect good football? Like you're a betting man, so can you bet on these games?
No. I mean,
it's like, who's going to even show up?
Yeah, I think if you go and look at a detailed report of okay, who's in, who's out, then I think maybe you could, but that's a lot of work to go through that list of 120 kids and be like, okay, who's staying, who's not.
Right.
Now, the interesting thing that came out yesterday, the day before, is the NCAA is now considering allowing red-shirted players to play in bowl games.
Ooh, yeah.
Because you have so many people opting out that I think this is huge. So you get these, say you bring in a 3 or 4 star freshman that's supposed to start for you next year, and the guy ahead of him opts out. well, when he's gone, I want this guy to be the starter, so now I can get him in and see how he does with the game reps.
Oh, yeah.
I think it could be huge.
Oh, yeah. And so, I mean, it's always good to get tape on you. It's always good to get some kind of footage on you. And, hey, albeit it might be a tough situation because you might have, like in Oregon State, that game where one team has all their guys and another team is only fielding half their team. So you never know what to expect. But, look, let's go get into this and start right off. The Bahamas Bowl, UAB comes all the way down to the last play, beats Miami of Ohio 24-20. And before we even talk about the game, I mean, this is the Bahamas Bowl. These guys get to hang out in the Bahamas. I don't know that I would be focusing too much on football if I got to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah. Yeah, especially, I wonder how early they got down there. Because it's like, are you risking being there a whole week and risking you guys losing focus? Like, I'm not. I go maybe 2-3 days before.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I heard they got there early in the week, but still, it's like, what do you get, like 3 or 4 days to hang out? Like, that can't be good.
Yeah. Especially when you've got 18, 19, 20-year-olds. Like,
absolutely.
You're asking for trouble.
Have any of you guys been to the Bahamas?
No. I would love to go, though.
Oh, wait a second. I go downstairs real quick.
All right.
Be right back.
Yeah. Now, I've been to Hawaii. And I've been to Honolulu to the stadium. I haven't been to the game or anything like that, but I've never been to the Bahamas. But I know just from being in Hawaii, it's not easy to focus on anything else outside of, the whole atmosphere of that place. So being at the Bahamas Bowl has got to be interesting, but more so, we're talking about a team from Ohio and a team from Birmingham, Alabama. Right now, Alex, both of those places are under 40 degrees. So you got weather differences that could play a factor in the game, or it did actually play a factor in this game.
Yeah, it really did. And this is the part I love about these bowl games, because you get these matchups like this where, like you said, both these places are ridiculously cold. Yeah. And now you get them in this warm weather environment where obviously there's different types of humidity and stuff that can affect the game. And it makes for an interesting dynamic. Absolutely.
Yeah. And look, this was both these teams came into this 6-6. They had to get their last win to even make the bowl game, and it played out kind of like that. Right, like two teams that had been struggling most of the year, but they found a way to keep in this game. The first half was kind of ugly. It was 10-6. As we said, the leading rusher in the country, McBride, sat out, so you had to back up come into this game. But Alex, I mean. Like I said, the first half was hard to watch, but the second half, it picked up. It definitely picked up.
Well, I mean, and it was kind of funny because for me, it really picked up in the fourth quarter because you look at the box score, for example. Like, UAB scored 10. UAB won the first quarter 10-0.
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio won the second quarter 6-0. Miami of Ohio won the third quarter 7-0. So it was just like, it was all, score-wise, it was one-sided in each quarter. So it's just like, for it to finally pick up later in the game, I'm really glad it did.
Yeah, and look, let's be honest. UAB came into this game a double-digit favorite to win this thing. So the fact that it was kept close should say something about Miami of Ohio. But UAB, look, they had 3 turnovers in this ball game. They had interceptions, fumbles like this. You can't get your offense running. Not to mention, you have your starting running back out. But I think this game really could be pinned down to UHB has the number 1 rush offense in their conference versus Miami, Ohio, who has the number 1 rush defense. And it played a factor. We know the backup got over 100 yards, but still there was times where it was 3rd down, 31, 4th and 1. UAB couldn't just run it up the gut like they had been doing, especially with McBride out. So this game came down to the end. It was nice in the end. If you watch that second half, like you talked about, where you talked about one team is coming up and it's 13-10 going into the fourth, then all of a sudden UAB takes control of that game. And look, to your point, this is bowl season. This is why we watch these games, because it was fun to see, man. And this is good for them going into the future.
Yeah, these bowl games, especially for teams in kind of that middle of the pack in college football, these are huge for recruiting because a lot of these players are looking at all these same kind of schools.
Yep.
So if you can go play if, for example, if you're Tulsa and you play Tulane or something, and I know they're in the same conference, so that's a bad example, but if you play a school at the same level and you can beat them, that helps recruiting. Absolutely.
Definitely. And then look, with UAB, you have Coach Trent Dilfer coming in.
Yep.
We know he's won 2 high school championships. He's also been able to, kind of get in with, he's played and won a Super Bowl. He's been around the block. So we shall see what he's able to do, especially with the college talent. One of the things that he was saying is he's looking for the guys that have the right mindset, the guys that are about their offense, their program. So we'll see if he could kind of get that together. Real quick, I want to add in, we got a guest just to finish getting some grub on, Mr. NFL Edition, Johnny Dean. What up, Johnny?
What's up, man?
How are you doing, Johnny?
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Sean, could we have been more wrong?
Yeah, I was like, are you serious? How in the world? Oh, my God. But and the X Factor is Matt Ryan. We know that.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, not a good X Factor.
No lead is safe.
He's
with
an
him.
X Factor.
Come on. So, hey, Bahamas Bowl, UAB got the victory over Miami of Ohio. We were talking about it, Johnny. First and foremost, there was a distraction just to start. I mean, if you're a college kid and you get to be in the Bahamas for a week, I'm not focused on football.
No.
Right. I was just watching the South Dakota game, man.
I'm jealous that you even got that on TV.
Right.
I've been looking
it's
for
in
that.
halftime right now. It's in halftime right now.
What's the count? What's the score?
You know what? I can't remember.
Here, I'll look it up.
I get so frustrated because I can't watch the Ravens game because I guess all our lines are iced over or some crap around here, man. So the NFL Network keeps going out. It's the only channel going out.
All right.
That's what's got me all pissed off because
I'd be
everything
hot
else
too.
is working.
It's
Well,
28-9 at the half.
Is it?
Ooh, jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, look, because you're up in Pennsylvania, so y'all got hit, didn't you?
Yeah,
With some
a
snow.
little bit, not bad. The cold is hitting us. The lake effect is killing Buffalo right now, though.
Oh yeah.
we got some of that earlier when I was on the show. Actually, earlier today, we was getting some really heavy snow, and then it just stopped. It's how the lake effect streamers hit, man. They are all over the place.
Yeah, that is crazy. And then we're getting that. We're definitely getting the cold front. Haven't necessarily seen the precipitation. And like I was telling Alex, Miami of Ohio, UAB, both of them play in colder places at this time of the year. But thankfully,
Roethlisberger's house.
Right. But thankfully, they're in the Bahamas for a week. Hey, hope they enjoyed it because they will be coming back to the cold. We are gonna move on to the Duluth Trading Cure Bowl, Troy versus UTSA. And I think, as a football purist, somebody that's watched the game as long as I think all of us have, the fact that this was a top 25 game for both teams, that's not something we've seen very much over the last couple of years.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Not at the same time.
No, because I was like, you saw UTSA get in last year, like snuck in, like 20 to 25, somewhere in there. And for them to sneak back in this year, but for Troy as well. Yeah. And for them to pull off this game against, a top 25 team, that's impressive. And it's going to set them up for a good start next year.
I ain't going to lie to you. I don't usually pay attention to these lower rated bowls anymore. You can't keep up with them, man. It's just like,
they're everywhere.
They are. And it's just like a lot of random, I was looking at it today. I was like, oh, damn, there's 2 last night too. And then there was 4 or 5 that's already happened thus far today. You know what I mean?
I'm torn with the championship games because I'm pulling for Alex, and I really like. I don't want to.
Sean
and Anthony. You know what I mean?
Make sure you see this when y'all remember the end zone on your ass.
Oh wow! Look, I'm glad it's just like somewhat normal color. All right, once you get on to that super lime and the crazy yellows, get out of here with all that. Right?
Dude, that's still
hey.
That's still
You could have been in the college football playoff.
And lime green thing going.
So could you though?
Yeah. No,
I'll just sit back and back.
Every Oregon trend. The last 4 games was when they choked. So.
All I know is you were ranked higher at any point this season than North Carolina was.
Hey,
so you were closer to the playoff than they were.
It wouldn't be an Oregon season if we didn't fuck up at the end. I'm just
let's
saying.
keep that tradition going.
I
Let's keep
love
it going
the way
against
you just
Carolina.
root for that team, man.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Wear the jersey while you
fucking on.
bury them.
Normally, the closer somebody gets to a championship or a good bowl game win and stuff, the more excited they get. Look at Sean, man. Come on, he's excited for that game, man.
Yeah, you know.
And ask Alex, man. Come on.
Oh yeah. I'm
Alex
pumped.
said no.
You
Alex
got your
says no.
random backwards, dude. It's like you should be jumping up and down, man. This is as close as you're ever going to get again.
Oh, man. Wow.
Throwing shots today, I see.
Bang,
Hey,
bang.
man.
Let's go.
Hey, man. You destroyed my buff so many years. I don't care. It's personal for me.
Hey, it's coming back. Hey, well, I mean, right there with it, because let's go into the prime time, the game with prime time, since that's your new coach.
Oh yeah,
How you feeling about that, man?
I'm
Because
psyched, man. I actually will watch the games this year.
right. But look, and I'll talk to Alex about it, Johnny. How long do you think it'll take? We know he's going to get a bunch of people, but
3 years. 3 years.
to be relevant,
to be really solidified in there. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, are you worried
Yeah,
because
fair.
he took Jackson State to back-to-back national championships in the HBCU realm, but he lost both of them. Does that say something to you? Because he's clearly the class of, I believe, with the MEAC or the SWAC.
How long was he there? Jackson
SWAC,
State.
3 years. 3 years.
Right. That's when his recruiting class is supposed to just get started, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, he got a number of, we know about what Travis Hunter, but he got a couple guys that I don't think anybody expected Jackson State to get.
Well, no, it's prime. Come on.
Well,
Yeah.
That transfer portal is going to be busy.
That's why I was like, you're not going to expect some of these kids to go to Buffalo, but Deion's there, so
Right.
But then you got that, and then you got being a mile high. I mean, there's a lot of factors in Colorado that I think we got to add in.
Yep.
I think they'll be bowl eligible this year.
You had it right
really
when you
do.
said mile high, though.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I could see him. Look, back to this one. NC Central got the W in overtime. It came down to the wire in regulation. Prime son Shador Sanders throws up a prayer to Travis Hunter, who's playing offense and defense, catches the game the game tire to go to overtime. NC Central comes in there and scores. And on third down, Shador has a play on the goal line. They're looking to go in for the go-ahead for the tie. Throws it to Hagler. And I'm gonna mention his race. He's a white guy. The reason I'm gonna mention it is because this is an HBCU, ladies and gentlemen. This guy was a part of the team, and there's already a meme that was like, "You're disinvited to the cookout." Like you could have been the savior of the squad, and you just watch him go to the sidelines and shake his head.
Right
When you
chest.
said Hagler, all I could think of was Marvin Hagler.
Well, right, R.I.P. to the great man. Oh my goodness, but yeah,
How do you not catch that ball?
He was too wide open. He was too wide open.
On what weekend, college or pro, do you not go, how did you not catch that ball?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough to see it, but it was funny because it was just so wide open that you're almost like, he's gonna drop this. Like he's gonna drop it. Something's gonna happen.
I heard something a few weeks ago, and it was on those exact plays. And it was like, you get a touchdown 95% of the time. And they're like, well, what happens the other 5% of the time? They're like, it hits them in the chest or the face mask, and it falls to the ground. Like,
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It always happens.
Like no in between.
Didn't they just start with the Super Bowl with the Bucks with Mahomes hitting the guy in the face mask? I never saw that before, and now since then it's like everywhere. It's all over the place.
All the time. It's craziness, man. It absolutely is. But you feel for him. You feel for the team. They weren't able to get it done 2 years in a row, and now, I mean, I guess the question is, what happens to Jackson State? You know what I mean? The recruits are leaving.
I don't even know who's coming in. Who's coming in to replace Prime?
I haven't heard.
Either.
I don't know if they've decided yet.
Huh. That's some big shoes to fill, and it's not like they can really encourage a lot of big time coaches to come in there, you know.
Exactly.
No. Well, especially after the stories come out of all that mishandling the money and everything, right? Like,
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I feel for some of those kids that are staying that maybe aren't good enough to transfer over.
Want to take a poll on who might go there? We do that next show. Your next show.
Yeah, who would even be in the running for that? Like,
that's why I gotta say I can't do it this show. That's
right. I'd have to look.
I have to go look through that.
Yeah,
because like you said, you have the news with all the money situations going. You have prime time basically saying openly, I'm bringing luggage. All these guys are coming with me.
Yeah,
like who would want to go there? I mean, it has to be somebody that's an assistant that's desperate for a job.
I was
going to say maybe one of the coordinators. Like,
you know who's coaching at a lower level now? Ryan Leaf.
Really?
Yeah. You might be able to entice him over there.
Huh?
Yeah, it could happen. But hey, look, no matter where you are.
I know it would have been easy back in the day with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just throw a little bag of pills up there.
Look, if they can't pay, I don't think they can pay him. Some of these D2 schools might have a little bit more money than what Jackson State's bringing in. So that's interesting. But yeah, they were unable to get it, and I'm glad they got a little bit of attention. Jackson State, HBCUs, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Something that I one of the games is on right now. I don't know how this man has a bowl. The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl.
God.
What in the way? Have you guys watched any of this game, man? I mean, the game
I turned it on right at halftime.
Washington State? I don't think so. I don't like either one of those damn teams.
Nah, I like Fresno. I like that quarterback, Jake Haener. I think
we played Fresno a few times and we handled them pretty good. So they're not Oregon level with me. Right. Washington State is though.
Wow.
They're actually interviewing Jimmy Kimmel right now. I just flipped over to the game.
Oh, God.
His mascot for the game is a camel.
Why?
Yeah, I don't. Why? Because it's supposed to be Jimmy Camel or something. I don't know why that is. God. But so they had them do. It was the Fresno State mascot. It was the Jimmy Kimmel mascot, and then it was the Washington State mascot. And they had them do a hot dog eating contest. And then obviously they had it where the Jimmy Kimmel won. But then somewhere, I guess in his costume, there's like a sprayer. So it shows the camel go over to like the side where it's like there's like a little pier. And it sprays like this green stuff out, and it's like what
supposed to be throwing.
What is the point? Yeah, I was like, what is the point
of
this?
Like, that sounds like his old running gag when he was doing stand up, man. And I'm not even gonna go into that because it's Deshaun Watson nasty.
Well, see, that's the thing. Why would you you bring all these kids in there, want to see these mascots, and then you just have them throwing up, and it's like, dude, get out of here, man. Yeah. No, I don't know how he got that, but right now it's still 16
again because of this.
Oh well, yep.
So it's still 16-0, 9.5 left in the third.
So I heard them.
What game is that?
This one right here, the Fresno State, Washington State, the one that you don't care about. Yeah. Well, the only thing I want to say about that quarterback, Haener, I've heard him talk as like top 10 overall with his body of work coming out.
He's legit, yeah.
I mean, do you think he's going to get any attention? A lot of people haven't even heard of the guy.
I don't know. I think, does he have another year of eligibility or does he have to go?
Didn't another quarterback come out of Fresno State?
Derek Carr. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what I ask.
Although Jake Haener doesn't have a Devontae Adams with him, so
yeah.
And he's still putting up numbers. I really like Jake Haener. I think he should get attention, but I don't know if he would if he went.
Yeah, he's a senior. I mean, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's thrown for over 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in the Mountain West. So, kind of take that with a grain of salt. See, where he lands. He's a gutsy guy. He's a tough guy, but let's see what he does in the league. With that being said, Brock Purdy is what? 3-1 in the last 4.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In San Francisco, yeah. So you get him in the right system because he only lost to KC, right?
How many games has he played? I thought our game was the first game he played.
That was his first start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Did he get in for Kansas City, or is he undefeated?
Or was he before?
I'm gonna go look that up.
Yeah, look that one up. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what this Hayner guy can do.
There's a trivia question for you.
Right?
How many games has Brock Purdy started?
And how many games will he go on?
Painter, is he related to the other Painter that was a quarterback with
Painter or Purdy?
No, Painter.
No, he's
Curtis
thinking of
Painter?
Yeah, he's thinking of Curtis Painter, but this is Jake Hayner.
Oh, Hayner.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Haener.
You had me all messed up, Sean.
Let's go. Yeah, so this one is in the third quarter right now. Alex is gonna look up Purdy out of Iowa State. We'll see what he can do.
Only 3 games. So the Seahawks, the Bucks, and then came in partway through the Dolphins game.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 2-0 starting, but 3-0 on the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That
Cool.
works.
Yeah, definitely. And the other game that's going on right now, Oregon State playing Florida. This one right now is 30.
It just ended.
Oh, that one just ended?
I believe it was 36-3.
Jeez.
Which is
Florida
interesting because I didn't get the exact number, but Florida has the longest streak of not being shut out. So they kept that streak together. I don't remember the exact number, though. They showed it on the screen. I just forget it.
That's pathetic when you start going to that kind of streak.
Yeah, they lost 30-3. Sorry. What's the final score?
We lost 30-3, but hey, man, we didn't get shut out again.
Streak's alive. Streak is alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, we'll see what's happening with this. Napier had a lot, like I said, he had about 18 players that either opted out or went into the transfer portal. So, he wasn't really fielding a team up against a hard-nosed Oregon State team that was there to prove something. They wanted the W, So shout out to Oregon State for keeping it going, getting the victory. And
shout out to their coach. He got a massive extension like a week or two ago.
Ooh, okay.
Like 6-year deal. His salary went from like $1 or $2 million to like close to like $6 a year.
Yeah, man.
Can I ask one of you guys a favor?
Yeah.
Tracy's dying to know what the score is on the Ravens game right now.
6-3.
I think I have that update.
6-3?
Yeah,
6-3 for who?
Browns.
6-3 Browns.
Yep.
With 18 seconds left in the half.
Goal.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're about to see Justin Tucker field goal.
Tucker.
Should be their starting quarterback, fullback, running back, wide receiver.
All of them.
Yeah.
Just have him start. So, hey, speaking of Oregon State, Alec, how do you feel about them, man? Gotta keep you here, man. Gotta keep you fresh.
I mean, what do you want from me? I mean, they beat us, so.
That was an unfortunate game, man. Weren't y'all up like 31-10? Bowl season, baby. Bowl season, baby. Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
We're talking ACC, right?
Yes, we were. And then
What
we
happened?
fell.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
We pulled in Oregon. We pulled in Oregon. That's what happened.
Didn't North Carolina make their conference championship game though?
I don't know if that's a reprieve because we got whooped. We scored 10 points.
But you at least showed up to the game. They weren't even allowed to get there.
Who'd you get beat by?
That's it.
Clemson.
I'm taking
Clemson.
TCU, damn it.
With the backup quarterback. Okay, you just picked wrong. Sorry.
Here we go.
Actually, you know what? I hope it's Ohio State versus Michigan.
I hope
I do too, and I hope
I
we
would
whoop
love to
them
see
again.
that. I would love to see that.
That's historic to me.
If you
Yeah.
get the game for the title, absolutely. I would love
What-
that. Although I
What
want
are the
Georgia.
closest you'd get? What's the closest you've ever gotten to that? Like
Big
that type of
rivalry
matchup?
championship game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, last year,
I mean,
Georgia,
Alabama?
Alabama?
Maybe one of the Miami games. As
Yeah.
far as a big national rivalry.
Right.
I'll start looking it up again.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
Yeah,
that Oklahoma
it. I'm
was
not
it
picking the
Oklahoma
Lions no more.
Miami where Miami walked in there and Oklahoma was favored and Miami just walked over them 54-14 or something like
yeah,
that.
that was ugly. I remember that one.
Oh, Justin
happened?
Tucker missed a field goal.
What?
Justin Tucker
Wow.
did not miss a field goal.
He did.
What
He
was it?
missed.
80 yards?
Are you
No, it was like
serious?
50. Something like that.
Holy shit. Justin Tucker
What?
didn't have to think today.
I think it was 50. Well, actually, it was less than 50. It was like 45-ish.
Justin's
Where
like,
are they?
dude,
Are they-
this isn't Sunday. What the fuck?
Right? Are they outside though? Like what? Like why is he?
Yeah, they're in Cleveland, right?
Yeah,
they're
Cleveland.
outside.
That makes okay. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
you'd be
the weather
outside
is
both
pretty
places.
nasty around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would
I
be
think-
outside both places. That's right.
And he's
But
right
I
on
think
the
the
lake.
closest
Getting that lake
rivalry-
effect.
I
You
think
say
the
Alex?
closest rivalry was that Alabama and Georgia thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
As far as
so, looking at it.
interconference rivalries, yeah.
I think it was.
I don't think we've ever
There's
seen anything
one during
like.
BCS. I think there's a BCS one.
Yeah, look up BCS ones. I don't think we've seen anything as far as
I mean,
Michigan,
Florida
Ohio
State,
State.
Virginia Tech, who were in the same conference.
Oh yeah, I
In
mean,
the last
But-
20 years, there is no rivalry like Michigan and
No.
Ohio State. That's
I mean, you
All-
can argue against that because it wasn't much of a rivalry for about 15 years.
it's still ranked as number one rivalry because look who else is competing with them. I mean, you guys get up and fight. Maybe
Yeah.
not, you may not have got the W's put together, but it's always been a good game.
Right? You could argue Alabama Auburn because Auburn's actually kept it
Yeah,
interesting a lot more in the recent history than we have.
that's not considered a big rivalry nationally, though. I mean,
The
it
Iron
is,
Bowl,
but
it absolutely is.
it is,
Well,
but it's
Auburn
not
is-
one of those historic national rivalries, dude.
who,
I ju-
Alabama, Auburn in the state, I think it is more. But the thing is, Auburn, even though they keep it close, Auburn hasn't been good and since what came.
Yeah.
I'm
You know what I
talking
mean?
about
Yeah.
Michigan and Ohio State ranks with Notre Dame and Miami and shit like that, man.
Yeah.
And Florida,
And USC.
Florida Georgia rivalry and stuff.
And that was the
Well-
next one I was going to throw out was Florida.
Well, right.
Georgia. Yeah.
I'd actually see that as more like the Ohio State, Michigan, as far as hatred. Because
Yeah.
I think Georgia hates Alabama just because they ain't Alabama.
Well, yeah,
right?
all the,
Yeah, I
the
mean-
rivalries are real.
Right, oh yeah.
The Miami Notre Dame rivalries were serious, dude.
Catholics versus convicts.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why Notre Dame pulled out. We can't beat these guys. It's like
No,
that's why
Notre
they
Dame.
like to stay independent so they can pick and choose who they play, man.
That is true. They do need to come and
Oh, okay. I
be
could
independent.
for the national championship rivalry thing.
Yeah.
The 1996 national championship was between
That
Florida and Florida State.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Full Spurrier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. That used to
No.
the Florida rivalries,
That was the Bobby Bowden
Miami,
days, right?
Florida State and the
God,
Gators
that was
back
so
in the day
nasty.
with Jimmy Johnson and Bobby Bowden and Steve
Yeah.
Spurrier.
Late
Those
80s,
were
early
the-
90s.
That was the shit, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
outside of that interconference, I mean, you'd have to go back to what? The 70s with like Oklahoma
Yeah.
and then playing like Texas or something
Texas,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like Nebraska or something like that. So, yeah. It'll be very, very interesting. Real quick, we have a couple other games going on tonight. I don't know how much you guys are going to watch. The New Mexico Bowl,
That's my home
SMU
state.
versus BYU. BYU, we know about that quarterback, and he's definitely looking nice. He's going to come
Bring
out
him
next
down.
year. Let's see what
Jared
they got.
Hall is staying this year.
I
He's
believe
staying back for
so.
another year.
I believe
That's
so.
a
From what I
good
heard
idea.
last time, I heard he was there because I mean, there's too many quarterbacks that he has to
Yeah.
go up against. He's going to drop. And look, we talk college, and we know a little bit about him, but we don't know a lot. I mean, he hasn't really hit the national scene like that. I just think it would do better for him next year. Then we have the Lending Tree Bowl, Rice, Southern Miss.
Southern Miss.
Well, we'll see what happens with that one. And then the Frisco Bowl, North Texas and Boise State.
Can you back up
Later
just
on.
a sec? I need to know about Rice because I have what is Rice doing? Why are they even in a bowl?
So because they that's
I mean,
a good
Southern
question.
Miss
They
that
didn't
bad
even win
now?
6 games. Well, Southern Miss is 6-6. Rice is 5-7. So I guess if you look at the teams with 5 wins,
Mhm.
their schedule and all that must have been enough for them to get in. But 10 minutes left in the first quarter, Southern Miss is up 7-0.
Well, there you go.
So
Look, they don't have much offense. The quarterback has over 2,000 yards, and a bunch of running backs having over 100. I guess they get the job done. But I mean, like you said, they're 5-7, and playing a 6-6 Southern Miss. It should be interesting. I don't know. You said 7-0 already.
Yeah. Now, like Rice is on their first drive here, and they're right at about midfield. So,
but this is the type of game you would expect to be played in the first week in the bowls.
Yeah, and I mean it's the Lending Tree Bowl. Like it's not.
Yeah. Let's go.
Next year, you're going to see the NFL Edition Bowl.
Let's go. I'm telling you. Let's go. Let's talk football bowl. Let's get them.
If we fork up enough cash,
right?
Jimmy Kimmel got one. So
God, I still don't understand how that man got himself a bowl, and why him. I mean, he's not even the late night guy. He's not even the best late night guy. Like, come on.
He just forked up enough money to get it. That's all it is.
Because of his affiliation with the NFL and football and stuff. That's it.
And it's in LA, right?
And money, like Alex said, money. Hey,
it plays a big role. It plays a big role. But look, while we have you
wait
guys,
till the James Corden Bowl comes out. Oh my God, played in London.
Hey, look, man,
God, let's do it.
Right,
played at Wembley. Let's do it.
Hey, I'm waiting for the Johnny Dean Bowl in Las Vegas. Around your own place, you can have whatever going on. It'd be hilarious.
No. That's got to be in Colorado, man.
In Colorado, yeah. And then, hey, anybody mentions baseball, they immediately get ejected from the stadium.
Absolutely.
You're out of here.
Get them cleats off the field. They're the wrong size.
Let's go. Yo, hey, but let's go into this one while we have our guest on here. Michigan versus TCU. Johnny, I've talked to Alex. He's giving me his spiel back and forth. We've gone back and forth about this. He's pretty confident. Does TCU have a chance in this game, or is it going to be closer than a lot of people expect?
Every team has a chance, but I think Michigan's got that mindset right now. I don't see that. I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
The last few games we saw from Michigan, their offense increased each game, man. So
exactly.
I think they're in that mindset that we're rolling, buddy.
Oh yeah. They got their eyes set on.
And I know TCU's a great story this year, but they're TCU.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They haven't learned how to win yet. This is a good start-off season for them.
Yeah,
but they don't have that winning attitude just yet.
Right, and I think that's it. I think the experience from last year that Michigan had playing in this atmosphere, a bowl is one thing, conference championship is one thing, but in the CFP, where every camera is on you, that is going to play a major role. But look, Alec, you talked about it all year. TCU hadn't beaten anybody with a starter until last week. What do you think, man? I know. Are you saying that for Oregon or for TCU? I don't know.
I think he's saying
funny. I have one for North Carolina, but I can't put that on camera. So.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Good gracious. But do they have a shot? I know Johnny said everybody has a shot, but I think we all kind of agree Michigan is on a mission. But I mean, what do you think?
I mean, you could tell
that quarterback
from what I've seen last year and how most of the Michigan players that stayed because most of the Michigan players stayed for their their senior year. When they watched them lose that it was the semifinal game.
Yeah.
So most players watched Georgia hold up the little.
The main one was Blake Corum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was all those players. I mean, it was Blake Corum. I think it was somebody else. I think. Yeah. They was using that as fuel. And let alone TCU. I mean, yeah, it's a good story, but Michigan's they're refusing to have another repeat of last year and get inside national championship.
Oh yeah.
Now here's the thing I'll throw in just to play devil's advocate and give TCU a little love here is the only time we faced a passing attack similar to TCU was Ohio State. And Marvin Harrison had a very good game against us. Went over 100 yards, had a touchdown. Should have had 2. So Colin Johnston catching passes from Max Duggan down the field is a little worrisome. If they get any sort of time to throw those deep shots, they could make a game out of it at least for a little while.
Mm-hmm. I can see it. I think my main concern is something you talked about, Alex, and it's Blake Corum. him not being there. We understand it worked in the conference championship. It worked against Ohio State with the backup Edwards, but can they sustain that? And maybe the test isn't this week, but if you go further, you have potentially a Georgia team. We're going to talk about that in a second, but you have a Georgia team with a stout run defense. We've seen Jalen Carter picking up the quarterback and then putting one finger up like this game is over. You know what I mean? Like, can Edwards get the job done at least enough to hold a pass rush off your back?
I do think so, because, a lot of people don't realize this was a 5-star running back coming in. So the kid's been extremely talented his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
And he might not be the runner that Blake Corum is, but he's a deadly weapon in that passing game too.
Yeah.
So if we need to, we can throw those flats, those angles, your running back pass routes, and take some of this pressure off of J.J. McCarthy if need be. And he's running behind the offensive line that about an hour ago won the Joe Moore Award for the best offensive line in the country for a second straight year.
Oh, nice.
And this offensive line is better than last year's offensive line.
McCarthy's my biggest worry, actually.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about him against TCU. That's the thing.
No, Georgia.
Because I think we can manhandle TCU physically. I think we can dominate the trenches and just impose our will on them.
Why are we talking about Georgia? Don't they have Ohio State to go through first?
They do.
Great point. Georgia playing Ohio State. Hey, and we cannot sleep on them. We can't sleep on. We've had C.J. Stroud is back-to-back years. He's been in Heisman contention. This defense is improved.
Picking Ohio State in that game, man.
Woo! So, all right, explain it, Johnny. How is Ohio State going to beat the defending national champs? Because I would like to see it, but I don't know.
This is. I'm picking that based on what I want to see in the championship game.
Yeah. I like that though.
I can explain how Ohio State can beat Georgia. We've seen, especially with that LSU game, and I know a lot of yards came in garbage time, but you're able to pick that secondary apart, especially with Keely Ringo. He's having an off month here, the last few games he played. So if you get Marvin Harrison up against Keely Ringo or any of those guys in the secondary, and Emeka Ibuka or any of these other receivers actually decide to show up, this could become a game very quickly.
Yeah, don't forget, Ohio State's got one. On paper, has one of the best offensive weapons, the best offensive weapons lineup there is in college football.
I think they have the best, yeah. And as a Michigan fan, I will say this. Yes, the score, we beat them by 23, 25, whatever it was.
That's personal.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. It was an 8-point game with 7 minutes to go. And then Donovan Edwards had 2 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's true.
So, and then you get Ohio State sitting here for the whole month of December, sitting and listening about how they're too finesse, they're not tough enough, that they have no shot against Georgia. Like, you're giving them ammunition here.
Yeah.
And this is another team that's talent level, they're almost even with Georgia. Like, if you look 1 through 120 or however many kids are on that roster, it's almost on par there. So nobody should sleep on Ohio State here. That being said, I am still going with Georgia, but I've got it within a score.
Yeah. And Alec, look, in my opinion, Alec, this game comes down to, we all talk about Ohio State's offense and Georgia's defense, but Georgia's offense has struggled at times, and at times it's not even been against good talent. The Kent State, Missouri,
that Kent State game is what shook me up. I was like,
right.
Yeah.
I think that was what, 26-13 at the half or something.
Yeah.
It was a close game. So, like, are we sleeping on, like, talk to me about that one, man. Ohio State, that defense, they're very underrated.
I think that Michigan game is what got everybody looking down on Ohio State.
Absolutely.
I agree. The final score.
Well, and here's the thing is Michigan set up their entire team to beat Ohio State.
Right.
They looked at what Ohio State does and what they don't do well, and they attacked that. We got physical. We ran the ball. We roughed them up in the trenches. So, Georgia's got the ability to do that, and that's what I think a lot of people realize too. But if you look at the numbers, Ohio State's defense from last year was like 65th somewhere, like right in the middle of college football. And now they're up in the top 15 in almost every stat, even after the Michigan game.
And you can't look at what Northern teams do to each other and think that Southern teams can do the same thing, because Northern teams are built to smack you in the mouth.
Yeah, that hard-nosed trench warfare.
I'll give the skill players to the South because they like to play the South.
But even then, you look at Ohio State and all the skill players they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can thank Urban Meyer for that, starting that, because he was getting a lot of skill players out of Florida and stuff. So,
absolutely. Alec, who do you think's winning this one, man?
See, I'll be.
Don't worry, you're not at your mom's house. You can pick Ohio State if you.
She will not see this footage.
I mean, it's gonna be Georgia.
Okay.
I mean,
does Georgia win big, or is it close?
Close. I say by a field goal.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Man, I'm going. Here's my number. I'm going to Ohio State by 14. Now,
wow.
What?
Put that on the
Flip
paper.
that and send it to Anthony Handy.
Wow.
Well, and Colin P just showed up too for that.
Wow. Alex, what's your score on this one, man?
Sorry, Colin.
I'll go Georgia 31-25.
Yeah, I got this one as Georgia winning late 31-20.
God, I love being the underdog.
Yeah,
31-23. Okay,
31-23. It's going to be something late where Ohio State's going to get an opportunity to be one score down. But we'll see. Hey, Johnny, if you get it, man, there you go.
It's destiny, dude. It's destiny. Yes. They're playing for that rivalry championship right there.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah, but there's another team of destiny in front of them called the Georgia Bulldogs. Like
backs.
I had a kid that played for Florida. I've never been a Georgia fan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Colin. I'm sorry, Anthony. But I did appreciate what they did last year. I did appreciate that a lot. That was a good run.
I just wish they didn't have to go through us to get it, but yeah.
That was good gracious. Look, shout out.
It ain't happening this year. It ain't going to happen this year. If Ohio State don't knock them out, then Michigan
can't wait
in your face.
I cannot wait. I definitely want to see what happens in that game, man. Stats, is he the guy? Hey, look,
where's the damn game being played?
So the Michigan TCU one is in Glendale, and this one is in Atlanta.
Yeah. Can you give them any easier advantage?
Wow.
And here's the thing: these bowl games are set out years. Like
I know. I'm just trying to start crap, dude.
And then as soon as Georgia was there, it was just like the committee was like, "Yeah, we'll place you in Atlanta." Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wait. As you see Alec looking off, you having flashbacks of that first game? This is a neutral site game in Atlanta.
Yeah. Look, see, but here's the thing: Oregon signed up years ago to play that game. Ohio State just lucked into playing that game. Oregon was dumb enough to sign up for that.
That's fine. Ohio State's come down south and whooped Alabama a few times. So,
Alec, I'm sorry about that.
Don't. You just had to bring up that loss. Single touchdown fight.
I had my foot in my mouth after the game, but I was on the show with Anthony Handy and Colin both saying, "Watch out. Bo Nix is finally out of Auburn. Watch him do something." And I looked at that score.
That's why we lost.
I was quiet.
Oh.
I was quiet.
No. Alec has badmouthed Bo Nix all season long.
Yep. I'll admit it.
Good old Bo.
Defense saved his ass in like two of the last 4 games.
He's garbage. He's as bad as what was his name?
Anthony Brown.
Who
played for the Baltimore Ravens last week.
Yep.
And look what that did for them.
They won.
They got the W.
Yeah, but they passed the ball.
And they don't pass the ball with Lamar Jackson. So what's your point?
Oh my goodness. No.
So he couldn't go to North Carolina, but he can go to Anthony Brown.
You know what? I hope the Commanders sign him.
No. Oh. Well, he's right up 95. You know how we do. We get a lot of their retreads. We'll see.
Oh, you do, don't you?
So at the end of the third quarter here, just to throw a live game, is Fresno State's up 22-6 at the end of the third.
Oh,
wow.
And midway through the Ravens-Browns game is still 6-3 Browns. Oh, man. In other news, North Carolina came back in overtime to beat Ohio State 89-84. Let's go.
Nice. Thank you.
Marching towards the bowl, Alec. Marching towards the bowl. Yo, buddy. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, we're going to do a quick breather and show you all the shows we got, and then we're going to come back and try to do some positive. I'm talking about Mike Leach. He passed, and but he's got so many memories, man. And I'm gonna play a video, but we'll talk about it right after this. Yeah, buddy. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are glad you're back on Let's Talk College Football. You know, it's me, Sean Spencer, with my guy, Mr. Alex Loosemore, and then some guest hosts from NFL Edition, Mr. Johnny Dean, and that duck over there, that again duck, Mr. Alex Schaumburg, who's gonna let me have it if North Carolina doesn't show up. All right, I know it.
I'm waiting for that game on the 28th to just in that group chat just poke at either one of you whenever it starts to go down.
Oh, don't worry, I got you one step ahead of you.
Don, you know you're scared.
Oh, I'm very nervous. You see, we lost to Georgia Tech. They didn't even have a real coach, man. Come on. Jeez.
And their quarterback transferred right after the game. He quit.
That's ridiculous. Oh, man, ladies and gentlemen, though, we do have a little bit of sobering news. If you did not hear recently, Coach Mike Leach passed away. I thought something that was really cool that some of the other teams did is they started to wear that pirate the pirate cross on the back of their helmets, just kind of pay homage to Mike Leach.
Yeah,
the guy. Look, if you don't know, he was just a great interview. I think that's one of the things you have to say. He was an absolute great interview. We got a video later to show kind of some of his interviews, but he was also a great mind. Alex, we talked about this before. You know, we talk about the Sabans and Belichick's and all their coaching trees. This guy's got a pretty solid coaching tree.
Yeah, so I got the list here. So some of these are players that played while he was coming up in coaching, and some of them are coaches that coached alongside him. But a lot of these names for people, especially watching football now, will be pretty recognizable. So Dave Aranda, who's currently the head coach at Baylor, was a graduate assistant coach under Leach from 2000 to 2002 at Texas Tech when Leach was the head coach. Neil Brown is currently the West Virginia head coach, played under Leach as a wide receiver in 98 when he was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky. We got Sonny Cumbie, the Louisiana Tech head coach, played under Leach as a quarterback from 2000 to 2003 at Tech. Then later in the decade served as a graduate assistant coach under Leach at Tech as well. Sonny Dykes, the TCU head coach, coached wide receivers and later was the offensive coordinator under Leach from 2000 to 2006 at Texas Tech. Josh Heupel, the Tennessee head coach, played quarterback under Leach at Oklahoma in 1999 when Leach was the offensive coordinator for the Sooners. Dana Holgerson, the Houston head coach, coached alongside Leach when they were both assistants at Valdosta State from 1993 to 1995. The interesting thing there is that's where kind of everyone goes to the birth of this air raid offense. Is Valdosta State with those guys there. So Holgerson was there. And then Holgerson went to Texas Tech as an offensive coordinator from 2000 to 2007. Coached under Leach at Texas Tech. Cliff Kingsbury was a quarterback for Leach, 2000 to 2002. Sean Luttrell, the North Texas head coach, was a quarterback at Oklahoma in 1999 when Leach was obviously the offensive coordinator. Then he served as a running backs coach at Texas Tech from 2005 to 2008. Lincoln Riley was the quarterback for Leach in 2002 and then joined Leach's Red Raiders staff from 2003 to 2009, first as a student assistant before working his way up to being a wide receivers coach. Ken Wilson is the current Nevada head coach, was a linebackers coach under Leach from 2013 to 2019 when Leach was the head coach at Washington State. And then you've got coordinators and assistant coaches, a couple of interesting names in here too. So you got Robert Anai, the Syracuse offensive coordinator, was an offensive line coach for Leach from 2000 to 2004 at Tech. Bill Bedenbaugh, the Oklahoma offensive line coach, played O-line for Leach in 91 when Leach was the offensive line coach at Iowa Wesleyan, then coached offensive line for Valdosta State in 96 alongside Leach, then served as a graduate assistant running backs coach and offensive line coach for Leach from 2000 to 2006 at Tech. USC's current defensive coordinator, Alex Grinch, was a defensive coordinator for Leach from 2015 to 2017 at Washington State. Brandon Jones, the Houston running game coordinator, offensive line coach, played on the offensive line for Leach from 2003 to 2006. Then served as an offensive assistant from 2007 and 2008. Eric Morris, the offensive coordinator at Washington State, played under Leach from 2004 to 2008 at Tech. Then served as a receivers coach for Leach in 2012 at Washington State. And finally, Wes Welker, the wide receivers coach for the Miami Dolphins, played receiver under Leach from 2000 to 2003 at Texas Tech. So you got a little bit of everything.
Oh,
and a lot of success at the coaching level.
His biggest impact in football, I think, is that air raid offense. It's
without a doubt.
Those layered route trees he had were genius. It was unstoppable. You couldn't stop it, man. If you did stop them, it was luck.
Right.
Or people dropping the balls, period.
Right. I mean, that offense was, 95% pass? You know what I mean? It's you're putting it up all day, every day. And you talk about
all of football. All of football.
Oh, definitely. You talk about Texas Tech. You talk about now being at Mississippi State. You see some of those names. Look at Will Rogers in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Been like top 10 in passing. I mean, he throws the ball all around, and Leach just let it fly. And I absolutely love that. But I didn't know he was at Valdosta State. I didn't know that because when I came out of high school, that was one of the I got two looks. One was at Virginia State, which is an HBCU, and one was Valdosta State, but it was in Georgia. So I was like, I'm not traveling. I was trying to be around my folks. But that's interesting.
There's another interesting story I heard this week of Mike Leach. So I was listening to the Joel Klatt show that he does every week, and he had one whole show dedicated to Mike Leach. And he said while he was at Washington State, Joel was doing an interview with him, and it was one of the years his running backs were doing much better, and he's like, man, it's like your running backs are showing up. Are you calling more run plays to like boost these guys, or are you planning to, or what's going on? And he's like, Joel, I never call a run play. I'm always calling pass plays. Any run play you see is the quarterback checking to a run play, like calling an audible. I do not call passes, or I do not call runs. It was just like, man.
He was hilarious, man. He was hilarious.
And then that 2008 season or 2009 season with Michael Crabtree at Texas Tech. Mm-hmm. There's another interesting story there. So there was a game where they lost it because they had a go route against a bad coverage for go routes, and they didn't know where to place the ball and like where to attack that coverage. So the next practice that week, he comes in and says, all we're doing is running go routes. And we'll play it against all different coverages. We're going to know how to beat any coverage with this go route. And they said these some of these kids ran like 3 miles of just go routes all day. And then it came down later in the season. I believe it was their conference championship. Late in the game against a cover 4, they had to throw a go route to Michael Crabtree, and it worked.
Wow. Then they knocked off the undefeated, who was it, Oklahoma or Texas? I think it was Texas that was undefeated that year. And they knocked them out of the BCS Bowl. Will says, Will's hot take, the NCAA has some decision to make regarding bowls. They've lost their luster due to the CFP, coaches changes, and NFL declarations and transfer portal.
I've got an answer to this. I think what we need to start doing is we don't need to I'm not even saying that. I think what we need to do is putting so much emphasis on who's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
Because all we talk about with these bowl games, like when we started talking in the Florida game, was, well, Anthony Richardson's not playing, this guy's not playing, this guy's not playing, this guy's not playing. Well, how about we just be excited for a football game and as a fan of that team, see who's the next up-and-coming talent. Mm-hmm. That's my view on it.
I mean, nationally, you got to cut the country into quarters, make your divisions out of the quarters, and make true playoffs. And get the bowl games are fine. There are too many of them, way too many of them. If you're going to get a bowl eligible game, you got to at least have 8 wins to me.
Yeah, 5 wins is that's too. That's you're reaching now. Yeah, you're reaching.
Yeah.
6 and 6, I respect, but even still, it's like some of these games. Now you'll have a game like the Miami of Ohio versus UAB where it came down to the very last play, and those are good. But you had to watch 3 quarters of crap to get to that 4th quarter of good. You know what I mean? So
I have one more thing to say about Leach and those routes, man.
Yeah, go for it.
You can't. There is not a place in football, high school, college, NFL, that don't have Mike Leach routes instilled in them.
Yeah,
they're everywhere. That's the biggest. That's why I said earlier that his biggest impact in football was the routes, because they were creative genius, man. They're not just go routes. He dropped 4 wide receivers out, dropping in layers on their routes, man, and that was never done before. It was just either crossing routes or your go route or the flank route, and that was their basics. And now everybody uses a part of Mike Leach's route running in their playbook.
Yeah,
absolutely.
AB mastered them. AB mastered them.
Well, Browns are about to score. Just letting y'all know that.
Okay.
Again.
Speaking of what if Leach's old teams, Washington State not faring so well against Fresno State. I think they're down 22-6.
Yeah, with 11:20 left in the 4th.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. To your point, Johnny, maybe bowl games could be geographic like the NCAA tournament does, make travel easy. So you have
another interesting idea
out west. You have a southwest, and you have the mid. You have the northeast.
4 conferences, 2 major conferences. Your north and your south, right?
Yeah,
and then divide that up into 4 major.
See, but here's where I have an issue with that. You look at it now. Realistically, most of your powerhouse football teams are SEC and now Big Ten. So your Northeast and Southeast are going to be your 2 that are going to destroy the other 2.
No, I would design it this way so that they're playing everybody on their roster. They don't. That's one thing I hate about the college system. I get to pick and choose who I play. Screw that. Screw that. You know.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd have to give them.
I think you should be able to pick and choose because, like, for Michigan, looking a few years down the road, we've got a home and home with Oklahoma and a home and home with Texas. I think those kind of games are very interesting, but it should be a set list of teams based on how you perform that you're able to pick from.
But that would be up to the roster makers. You know what I mean? I'm not the roster makers, the schedulers.
Yeah.
But and take it out of the hands of the colleges who are just trying to get cakewalks. You know what I mean?
Now, at the same time, the one thing that does by getting rid of these games is you're going to kill off a lot of these smaller schools, because while they
also give these wait a minute, you can also give these smaller schools a chance to perform and move up.
But here's the thing. A lot of these smaller schools are going and getting blown out, but they're walking away with $1 million, which does wonders for their program.
Which is the other part, is where we need to find ways to give them money and subsidize them without having them to get right. Well, right.
But if they're bad, you're not going to broadcast them.
But that's the thing, because you have some of these teams, like you look at UTSA this year went undefeated or lost one game a year ago, but this year they had a tougher schedule. They had to play the Houstons early. They had to play, Oklahoma, some of these big name teams. So they
talk about what I'm trying to get to.
Right. So albeit they're good, right. So they need, play tiered level, because I can't look. I'm not one of these guys that likes this Georgia playing, these crappy teams early.
Georgia should not play like Furman.
Yeah,
no.
Like them Alabama playing all those crap. Nah, that's
Alabama playing Austin P in November was absolutely ridiculous.
It's 100% ridiculous with that, man. And it's like almost like relegation is what I'm trying to get to. You know what I mean? You work your way out of the relegation and get into the upper another tier. You just keep moving into the other tier.
That's I had said somewhat the same thing with when we were way back at the start of this show, Sean, and we were talking about the two power conferences.
Yeah.
That we're eventually going to get to. Let's be realistic.
Yeah. It's coming.
But then at that point, you would have enough teams in that power conference that you maybe only need one or two out of conference games. But then what you do is number one from the north plays number one from the south, number two from the north, number two from the south. And that's how you seed it all the way down. You just, going into that season, you have that 1 week where the one conference plays the other, and it's just best against best, second against second, third against third, all the way down.
The only thing I see wrong with any of this is the NCAA commission. There is none. There's 6 people who work for the NCAA, okay? That would have to change. That would have to become an actual separate entity from college and put a building there, give them an office, and let them hire staff.
I think with these bowl games, what realistically needs to happen is they need to be separate from the college football playoff. I think, and again, I was listening to Joel Klatt, and I agree 100% with this. My personal opinion, whether it's the actual bowl game itself or not, the national championship, you set it at the Rose Bowl. That's just the iconic college football stadium. You set it there, you leave it there. But then these playoff games, instead of stealing all these other bowl games, what you do is you give these teams the home field advantage. You make it something they have to work for. Because if Alabama can sit there and be a 6 seed and get an easier matchup, and you're playing a neutral site game, then what's the point in trying to go for that number 1 seed, right? So give these teams the home field advantage. Give them some sort of incentive to work harder at trying to win all these games in the season.
Yeah, but I don't want anybody in there with a 5-win record. I don't care what.
No. Yeah.
No.
You can't come at me with that stuff, man.
I agree with some of the bowl games needing to be cut out because
Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
To me, even being 500, a bowl game is essentially a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
So to be 500 and play a playoff game has always been a ridiculous idea to me. I think you cut it to 8 wins. You win 3/4 of your games, you can get it.
That was my number.
Cut the number of bowl games.
So, I'm on board with that. Will, with
anything that makes the sport better, man, is what I want.
That's what we need to strive to. We need to make it better because these bowl games are getting to be too much, and there's too many of them. But I'm not on board at all with canceling them. But I do like potentially making it separate, especially if you're going to go to the 12 teams. You have your 12 best teams, they play, and then the other ones, let them play for something else. Let them, but nothing under. You can't have these bowls where they barely made it through their season. Like that's not.
Yeah.
That's I can't.
You're not. You say you're not up for canceling them, but I was not up for them growing that many bowls in the first place.
Yeah.
So I don't consider it canceling. I'll get your butt back to where it was with the bowl. You know, make it something special. You know, I don't even watch bowl games no more. I grew up watching bowl games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were something special, and now they're nothing. There's too many of them, man.
Too many. Yeah.
Realistically, you give it to like the top 50 teams that aren't in the playoff. You give 25 bowl games, spread them throughout December and into January. So you're not getting the 4 or 5 college bowl games a day, so you can actually watch some of these games.
Exactly.
So do maybe 2 a day over the last 12 days of December.
Yeah. We'll see.
It's obvious that they didn't really think
the
process out, you know. When they started doing
well, because again, all they were worried about was this
money, and they didn't think about changing anything. They were happy the way they had it because they were getting paid. You know.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we I thought you'd like this. Alec, Will said thoughts and prayers to UNC for their bowl loss. They have not lost. Even though we got beat by South Carolina last year. I'm going to talk about it, Will. We are going to quickly play a little Mike Leach video and say our last little thoughts, and then go ahead and watch the rest of these crappy bowl games or the rest of this Ravens game. Come on now.
Yeah, Browns won that
game. Friggin' weather.
So excited to see these.
Gardner
Minshew. I forgot he played at Washington State.
Yeah.
Here at Creme 2, we are remembering former Washington State football coach Mike Leach. We're taking a look back at some of his best moments with the Cougs.
Well, first of all, what kind of mythical powers does a Sun Devil have? We got to consider.
Momentum, excitement, energy. You know, I mean, they say all this stuff, and you know what they mean, but you know, it doesn't describe what you mean. I mean, it's just sort of out there.
I'm going to say the Wildcat's out. I mean, but he died. The Trojan, does he have a horse or is he on foot? Does he have a bow and arrow or just a sword?
Somebody, I can't remember, somebody said that in passing, you know, one of the I hate cats, you know, somebody really hates cats. And I've never figured that one out. I've never figured I mean, and a credit to cats, the ability to generate that much animosity.
The Bruin definitely formidable.
And I'm not sure how close of a relationship some of these people are planning to have with a cat, or why they would value the opinion of a cat, or their perceived opinion of a cat. I'm different about cats.
Another bear up there at Cal.
I mean, to me, it's just a cat. It's just a squirrel. It's just a dove. It's just a robin. I mean, what do I care, you know? So,
tree, imagine that tree's going to be chopped down. Unless we're going to go with a bird and somebody might get pecked or something. I don't know.
There was a more formal place. I actually drew on some cloth napkins. So, which it turned out they were less happy about that than we thought they might be.
Might lose interest and just fly away and get out of there, which may be good advice under the circumstances. I've never been
Ducks, get your wings ready.
The Husky, no chance. They couldn't dance with me in there because I couldn't even effectively go through the motions. And
all right, Mike, leave my Husky alone.
Beaver. Well, we'll see how long that beaver can hold his breath. When they crap in your yard, they smell a little different. Is he on horseback? Does he have a bow and arrow? Did he trade for a rifle? I mean, you know, because if that youth's got a rifle, there's some definite problems.
Well, I don't really do the thinking for those people. I do the thinking for myself. But yeah, I don't care if they're validated or not. I mean, if they think they're good quarterbacks, they're right. If they don't think they're good quarterbacks, they're wrong. So it's about as simple as that.
You'd have to get one of those very activists to read up on how you kill a Sun Devil, because there's a lot of outside stuff there.
Another instrument aside from trombone to play, what would you have gone with?
Probably the one where just every so often you do the thing where you hit the triangle, or else you're the guy that hits.
Do the thing where you hit the triangle.
Or like the big drum, boom, boom. You know,
couple of those. A buffalo's going to be pretty hard to tangle with. I mean, a buffalo's utterly outstanding. See, that's circle the wagon. So he did a good job circling the wagons. Butch is going to have to be clear-minded and crafty. I mean, Butch will find a way. There's no question. The Coug will find a way. Clear-minded and crafty, a combination of stay out of harm's way and
Google find a way.
When you get your chances or your openings. These same people that are covering their mouth up all the time, like there's lip readers. America's always been this huge bastion of lip readers. Would I spend a week in jail to get rid of my student loans? I would spend 3 months in jail to get rid of my student loans. I would have done it race to read lips. So that's why it's so necessary for coaches to constantly take their game plan or their script and cover up their mouth. Eventually, before it's all said and done, I'd be leading prison calisthenics and stuff like that. But what they ought to do is mouth cover. I ought to invent this. Going to the best shank builder and get a good shank, for
Shank
anything like that. But instead of like a Zorro mask that covers your eyes,
Oh my
we
God.
just have one that covers the mouth, you see. And we could sell it to football coaches everywhere. I would have been like that leprechaun on the damn Lucky Charms. They said, okay, 1 week, all your student loans are erased. You could have a deal where it kind of attaches on your ears, kind of like eyeglasses, hangs like right here like a veil.
What a foreboding.
Before anything else. Not as exotic. We make it a little more studly and masculine because we don't want him to look like a belly dancer per se. But it hangs right here. Some of my neighbors would start shooting zombies. Okay, here's another one. Okay, there's another one. All right. So then they don't have to constantly hold up their script. Hold up their script. Oh my gosh, I forgot to hold up my script. They know everything we're gonna do, and but we'll have that veil right there. You see, this is a really ugly zombie. Wow, pretty attractive for a zombie.
And this is just at Washington State.
Right.
Yeah.
Football veils. Hell's this? We can hold on a little bit, even something like favorite cartoon characters. We could even draw a mouth on there. Well, it's good to have those. And I'll tell you this, they're kind of into fashion. We could have a flesh-colored veil that, has lips and teeth on it, but they just don't really move, That's what I say. I think that'd be a brilliant idea.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, that's it.
Tell me this was before the 2020. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. That he foretold the masks, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely did. Oh, that was great. Oh man. So RIP Coach Mike Leach, who gone too soon, passed just recently. So definitely prayers out to his family and all those affected. It is remarkable to see how many people he touched. But it's just crazy to think, like, I was listening to interviews this year from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he was just here. So it's a rough thought. But look, we're going into the end. Ladies and gentlemen, since you guys are here, we're just going to give our last little quick thoughts and go back to watching these bowls that nobody cares about. Johnny, what you got, man?
Well, my thoughts and prayers go out to UNC.
Yeah. Let's go. Go for all of you. All right, let's go. Sending UNC stuff to everybody if we win.
I did that for Alec.
Ardo's gonna buy Ben. So he's buy him a sweater vest.
No, that was if North Carolina won the ACC.
Technically, I'm supposed to be wearing some Florida State stuff, but he didn't say anything, so I'm good.
Oh, what happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. We had talked about it. And he was
man, we gotta call you out now. You
hit him up. I'll wear it. I've worn Dallas stuff. I had to wash for a week, but I wore Dallas stuff when I lost to Janae. That was terrible.
I couldn't do that.
I
couldn't do that.
That was terrible.
We have in our one Dynasty League, that whoever gets last place has to get their like least favorite team's jersey. So if I lost, even though in the NFL it'd probably be the Packers, it was an Ohio State jersey.
Ooh.
And not only do you have to wear it for a week on all the shows you go on, it has to be your profile picture on all your social media for the week.
I tried to get you to take that bet once, and you were like, "No, never, won't happen."
Well, I knew I wasn't going to be last place, so I agreed to it. I got a good team in that league. That ain't happening.
Yeah. The Cowboys would be hard. I wore that was hard. Wearing Duke is, I think I'd literally die. I can't do that.
I would put on an Oregon jersey.
Could do that.
Oregon.
Ohio State would be the worst one for me.
Don't worry, John, any sport. Let's put it in your wall.
You know I'm with North Carolina, right? Because there's no way in hell I'm rooting for Oregon.
Yo, we might have to watch that thing live. I want to see this man's face. I want to see your face.
Get the reaction show going.
Right.
Do it like we just did with the Mike Leach thing. Like have the game on the screen and all of us on the side.
We'll have our own like our own little like Madden cast or you know what I mean? A little Madden cast or whatever. Yo, Alec, man, what you got, man? Last little thoughts.
I mean, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family and the players
I
that
thought you were saying North Carolina again.
He was repeating.
Players that play for him and people growing up, seeing him coach teams that he's coached before. It's just at a young age. I mean, that's not really young, but it's like to go out that soon.
That quick.
Yeah.
I mean, some people kind of saw it like because it was like that trend where he was going towards. It just sucks that it happened, especially like right at the end of the season. And it's just
one for like to go to the hospital Sunday night and pass away Monday night.
Yeah.
Dude, I hate to see anybody younger than me passing away.
Giant Dean, how old are you? I know Ben was talking about putting you in a home, but I didn't think you were that age.
I will be 66 this July.
Ooh, okay. Let's find out. When's your birthday?
14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
My fiance's birthday is July 3rd.
Don't sabotage me like Alec tried to do.
Well, I do.
I don't count them birthdays no more.
Hey, the 14th, guys. Everybody, Johnny.
This year we had an NFL edition show for his birthday. It fell on the
We'll see if Justin Tucker can make this one.
Oh, he's missing that. We can't miss 2 in a row.
What, Tucker?
And that just jinxed it.
No.
He did?
No, I'm about to see it. See if he actually made it.
You almost made me have a heart attack right here.
Right.
Oh, dang it, Sean. You missed it.
No, he
got
did.
blocked.
He got blocked?
Are you serious?
Yeah, Ravens are definitely losing this game. I don't care what anybody says. Ravens are done.
What is it, like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and you're calling it a promise?
Yeah, I put this.
Well, it would be the Ravens in the fourth quarter this year, so.
Oh wow!
It's just their offense is not.
That has
clicking.
been their problem.
Like once it gets to the 40, their
And
offense
if it got
is
blocked, that's not on Tucker. That's on the offensive line there.
Now, I'm not saying Justin Tucker missed it by himself. I'm saying he got blocked, but their offense, once they get past the 40, it's just
13-3 to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, start at the fourth quarter. Well, it's going to be 30-3.
Weren't they at this place last year? Weren't they like 8-3? And then they started getting all those injuries.
Yeah.
At one point, I think they were like number 1 seed in the AFC last year.
Last year, they were injured a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their whole secondary out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was craziness. All right, Alex, man, what you got, man, before we get out of here?
Like I said.
Go
ahead.
Of course, thoughts and prayers to the Leach family and that team in general. Mm-hmm. It's tough. I had a coach pass away in September, and it's still rough to even think about. So for it to be that soon, and he was literally with you guys like that, and he's gone. Now they found their new coach. The defensive coordinator got promoted to head coach, so it's a guy that's still within the system. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I remember that it's their defensive coordinator.
Actually, I think I knew that. Hold
on. Yeah, just especially this time of year, just reach out to people, make sure they're doing okay. Tell your family, your loved ones that you love them, because as Mike Leach showed, tomorrow's not promised.
Yeah, buddy, it's Zach Arnett.
Yeah,
that's the new.
Why's that name sound familiar?
See, for me, I thought of Arnett and thought of Damon Arnett, the first round pick from the Raiders a couple years ago, but who's no longer in the NFL.
I thought of Jim Cornette.
That might be
WWE.
Okay.
At the end of that. I echo the sentiments except for Johnny's and about my Tar Heels.
No, I'm with you. I just, if I have to pick out of the two, it's going to be North Carolina.
Oh yeah,
if I had to pick between the Dallas Cowboys and Oregon, it would be Dallas.
They literally just did a little tribute to Mike Leach on the game here.
Okay, sweet.
I think ours was better, probably.
Hey, right? Hey, prayers to his family. Prayers to his family. Prayers to all those who came in contact with him, or people like us that just enjoyed watching his interviews or watching him coach. Like Johnny said, he truly revolutionized the offense. I mean, the wide open offenses, the air raid offenses, the spread offense, all those things that kind of spread you out and just quickly just dissect you. That, I mean, he had his hand in that, and shout out to him, shout out to everybody that came from that. And college football is almost over, guys. So let's catch these games. This is the part I do like about the bowls, is because it's bittersweet. You know that playoffs in the NFL coming, college football, bowls and playoffs all coming. And in a month, 2 months, we're back to the drought. We're back to waiting 6 months till we get it again. So yeah. Appreciate it. Watch what you can watch, even if it is Rice versus Southern Miss.
So. Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's like my one choice for another hour.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. I might go out to the grocery store real quick. So hey, we're heading out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Sean Spencer, my guy Alex Loosemore, Johnny Dean, and Mr. Duck over here, Alex Schomburg. Check my guys out 1, 2, and 3 Thursday nights. What?
That name is sticking.
All right, yep. Mr. Duck, let's go. Hey, check 1, 2, and 3 out on Thursday nights. No, give it. Oh, can't wait till the 28th, baby. Let's go. Wait, look, I might have to come down. You're still be in Virginia at that point, right?
I'll be in Michigan for that.
That's right. That's right.
I leave I fly up 29 to Michigan.
Running
I'm 757. Let's go.
I'm gonna end this. Ignore my phone calls that day. It's not possible.
Just knocking on doors. Alec, is that you? Are you
Alex
in there?
Live here?
Are you in there?
I'm still a rant sports bar you don't know about.
Yeah.
I see you peeking around the corner there, Alex.
I see. I know that's you. I know it's you. Hey, we got to get out of here, man. Take care, everybody. And RIP, Mike Leach. Peace.